The following advertisement has been paid for by the big guy Ryback. Are you hungry? You know I'm so hungry, big guy. Hey, Mark, what brings you here? So I'm just here to hang out with my all-time favorite superstar of all time. What brings you here? Well, I'm doing a paid advertisement for Feed Me More Nutrition, available at feedmemore.com. Big guy, that is music to my ears. Do you tell the people about your ice-so-hungry grass-fed whey protein isolate, the best tasting protein on the market? Wake up unlimited energy, the strongest pre-workout on the market, and the big guy all-natural testosterone booster, my personal fave. Big guy, you're on to something with this Feed Me More Nutrition. It is some top quality stuff. Well, thank you, Mark. It is. Feed Me More Nutrition. Premium, quality, the highest quality supplements on the market today. Available now at feedmemore.com. But wait, there's more. Just for being a listener of Conversation with the Big Guy, you can now save 10%. That's right, save 10% at feedmemore.com on all Feed Me More merchandise and apparel and Feed Me More Nutrition with discount code PODCAST10. PODCAST10. Podcast 10. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, and right now, I'd like to introduce...
Whoa. A guy who lost his smile. A guy who took his brain and walked away from millions of dollars. He hails from Sin City. Damn it! That's enough for you two! Shut up! You're I think he said we're fired. Shut up! Pat, slap my ass! It's time for Conversation with the Big Guy, pal!
Welcome to Conversation with the Big Guy. I am the big guy Ryback, and I'm sitting here with the one, Pat Buck.
Happy to be back on another jam-packed edition of Conversation with the Big Guy. New sponsor on board that we're proud to announce. But before we get to that, I think you might have some things you want to talk about or plug.
Absolutely. You guys, Feed Me More Nutrition is now available on feedmemore.com. If you live in the Las Vegas area, it's available at Spartan Nutrition and I'll Pump You Up Fitness Nutrition in Las Vegas. Also available online at illpumpyouup.com. International shipping at illpumpyouup.com, along with international shipping at feedmemore.com. Wake Up, It's Feeding Time, the motivational book by the big guy, a professional athlete's advice on how to succeed in the game of life, is available now on Amazon in Kindle and paperback format. Coming soon to Audible. Northeast Wrestling presents WrestleFest 21. Kurt Angle versus Cody Rhodes in a steel cage match, The Great Khali, Jerry the King Lawler, and the big guy Ryback all making appearances, and I too will be wrestling. Friday, March 3rd, that's Northeast Wrestling, WrestleFest 21. 5 p.m. signing, 8 p.m. bell time. And that's all for me this week.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out to my shows last week. We'll talk about that. February 25th, I'll be wrestling for the BBWF. I believe it's North Plainfield, New Jersey. I don't think they have a website, but they got a Facebook, so look up the BBWF. Be careful not to type in BBW alone. A lot of other stuff will come up. WrestlePro, not that I've looked at that before, but WrestlePro, March 11th in Rahway, New Jersey. We're back. Special guests include Bruce Pritchard, Homicide, Joey Ryan, The Hit Squad, Tommy Dreamer. Check that out, WrestleProOnline.com. And the biggest show of my goddamn life, get your tickets March 30th, WrestleCon, Thursday of WrestleMania weekend. If you're in Orlando and you don't get a ticket, stop listening to this show. Please come. If you get a ticket and tweet me, I'll give you a personal shout-out on this show. Ryback versus Colt Cabana, Jeff Cobb, Brandy Rhodes, Swoggle, Grado, BWO, Sanjay Dutt, Pat Buck, and much, much more. WrestleCon.com. Help me sell out Thursday night. Help me beat fucking Evolve and whatever else is running that night. But that's my plugs, and that's all I got. But
not to cut you off, I forget every week to put this in because I have it written at the top right-hand corner of my notes. But for all fan mail, you guys, I appreciate it greatly, and I always Snapchat it, and I get it all back out to you guys. I check it once or twice every week, and you guys love to keep me busy, and I love to read your personal stories and letters, and I had some real good ones this week. But you can send all fan mail or anything. If you just want to send the big guy gifts, you want to send me money, anything that you want.
Pollo Loco gift cards.
El Pollo Loco gift cards, anything, 6-packs of Zevia, whatever you want to send the big guy with love. You send a P.O. Box 752-740, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89136. That's P.O. Box 752-740, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89136. Just to get that in there. Thank you guys very much.
All right, great. And I want to address last show. Last week, I'll be honest, I had a little bit of a mini meltdown. Because
you did. I woke up to you being like it was the end of the world.
Normally, I have a lot of patience with things, and I can handle it. But I was my Monday routine. I like to go to the gym bright and early and listen to the podcast to kind of go, okay, how good was it? And all of a sudden, I start hearing the beeps, and I'm like, oh, my God. Because we talked about this like the night before, because Eddie does a terrific job editing this podcast. And shout out
Wizards
again.
Eddie, yeah.
And you can listen to their show,
Phenomenal
Shining
job.
Wizards. Great guys. So, and I remember saying, like, you know, sometimes we're like, hey, let's bleep something out.
This was all my doing, by the way, on this one.
But I agreed to it. I thought it was for one thing.
Oh.
That's what I
mean,
thought.
it was, but...
Yeah. So I'm like, at one point, bleeps are funny, you know, every now and then, I think. And there was one joke in there. I was like, yeah, bleep that. That'll be funny. But I think we miscommunicated it, and the whole show ended up being bleeped. So,
no, it wasn't that. I 100% told him, I go, let's bleep the whole show out. But I didn't realize, because like we were talking, it was during my signing in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about all that with the food poisoning. I just wasn't like, I don't know why. I didn't really realize how much we cuss in this, because it's just, again, us talking like
normal.
We're not talking like, oh, there's a bunch of people listening to us. We're just talking like we always would, and we cuss when we talk like all people do, or the majority of people, I would assume.
Sure.
They're having private conversations in front of thousands of people. And then you messaged me, and then I put it on, and I started listening, and it didn't bother me, but I totally could see there were way more bleeps in it than I thought there would be. And I was like, oh, man, I even messaged you. I go, oh, we cuss a lot more than I thought we did, particularly
I was
me.
So mad. I was just pacing around the gym, and I was like trying to figure out what to do, because, I mean, I don't get a lot. I get enough tweets from this show, but not a whole lot. And I got about 3 or 4, which is the equivalent of you getting like 3,000. Like, I was like, what the?
When you said that, because you were like, we got to take this show down, and I was just thinking, no, this is our busiest day. We're going to completely kill our listens for the day. Mondays are where we get and we had as many listens, I think, on this episode last week that we've ever had. So I'm glad we didn't take it down.
Dude, my finger was on the delete button. I'm like, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm like, he'll understand. I'll delete this show. And poor Eddie, he's like, yeah, that took a long time to bleep every curse word out of the show.
I didn't even know. Bad. I wish he would have. I mean, obviously, he had no way of probably telling me, because he does it, I think, Sunday night. And I felt when you told me that, I was like, yeah, we don't need to have. Every once in a while, there are a couple things I wanted bleeped out, but more, not even the word, but just the context, because there are, I'm sure, kids that do listen. But you know what? This is the real world. In real life, they're just made up words, and they're going to hear them many, many different times in their life. And in the format and the context of this show, they fit very appropriately. And we do it because we're two dudes having a conversation like we're by ourselves. So and it fits. So that won't be happening anymore. So we apologize for all that.
Yeah, no more censored episodes. So sorry about that, guys. But other than that, it's been you were up here last weekend. How was your WrestlePro experience? You had a pretty fun-filled week last week.
Yeah. No, it was good, and I told you it before. I feel weird because I've had so much time of being home since December that with everything going on, like, and I stay very, very busy, but like I'm not like January and February are typically, I think, the
most
slower
dead
months.
times. 100%. For me as a promoter, as a worker, independent wrestling slows down in January. February is a little bit more, but not much. Yeah. And then it also is very slow around the month of June and into July are the slowest months. And
I know, like in March alone has me so like booked twice every weekend pretty much, and then I love that but it's been weird. I feel like I've fallen out of a groove, but I haven't, because I'm not working every weekend. I'm so, and as much as you hate working 4 or 5 nights a week and it's overkill on you, like working twice every week is awesome. Like if you could do that every weekend, because you start really getting into a groove and you feel healthy still. Now it's just like I did the England tour. I came back and I was all beat up, and my back and shoulder are finally feeling great. But I had 5 weeks off from that. Go and wrestle. It was 5 or 6 weeks actually. Wrestled, Moose and Mike Orlando, and that went great. I remember the Mike Orlando match. Excuse me. I was I felt great. But like the next night with Moose, I felt even 100 times better. Just like when I felt like a machine out there the second night. Where the first night I didn't feel quite like I felt great, but not as great as I could have. And I think that I attribute that to being out of the ring, and you get like not conditioning but nerves. I think because you always want to perform at a high level, and plus too I like to challenge myself. But this week I was off again for I think it was 2 or 3 more weeks between those matches and this one with Brian Cage, and it was a hell of a day. Just I got up early and had a huge workout and got some stuff done, and then I know you told me his flight was delayed or something, right?
Holy shit! So everybody that was West Coast coming in, yourself, Cody. Either flew in day before, the night before, and for some reason, Cage's schedule didn't work out where he had to fly out that day.
Yeah.
And the flight it was supposed to land really close. Like, I hate booking a flight close to bell time, but he was supposed to land.
That's always risky doing that.
Always risky. So, he was supposed to land at 4:45 p.m. The airport's, roughly about 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away. It kept getting pushed back, and I don't think he got to the building until 9 o'clock that night. And I think
it was right before your match went out, which was the match
Jesus
before
Christ.
Intermission.
Yeah.
And then intermission was cut short because I was over there, we'll talk about this, talking to him, and luckily I thought we had honestly another 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
I thought intermission was going to be 20, 25 minutes, and then we had 2 matches in front of us, and those were actually short. And intermission was cut short, and you told me, I go, is that the next match? And you go, yeah. And I was like, holy shit. It was.
I run a tight ship, and then I think, oh man, I felt bad. If I would have known you guys needed more time. I knew you guys needed more time. I was like, fuck, this sucks. He's getting here.
It's here's how I look at it. You don't need any time. You can go out there and you could wing it. And that is great. But when other guys are planning stuff out, you want to be able to, it's hard to fight fire with fire when other guys, if guys are planning stuff out, you need to plan some stuff out.
Okay.
And I feel like that match had high expectations, and we had to put that together so fast as far as a format for it. And but everyone seemed really, really happy with it. So
I watched the match. The whole locker room watched the match. It was a locker room sellout. We loved it. Thought it was great. The fans, I've gotten nothing but positive reviews from that match.
Everyone puts over the conditioning. A lot of guys came up to me and goes, "That was straight conditioning," and I was like, "What?" I don't know how to take it.
It's pretty. I think that's kind of what made it, is that you saw 2 guys that. Who said this in the back? Fuck. Someone was saying to me, they're like, "Can you imagine being in 1985 and most of the guys wrestling on the show are this size?" It was something like that, but they're moving like cruiserweights. Almost very athletic. You wouldn't expect that from 2 guys that were that size.
Just for me. I compare it. So I'm big on, in a lot of guys, you just need stories. And I've read Bob Backlund's book, and like in storytelling, I'm telling you, that's the one thing in wrestling. You just need a story. It doesn't, the match, you don't need all this other like stuff. But I told him, it's just machine versus machine. I go, who's gonna like, just two guys. I go, from beginning to end, we kill each other. I go, we just need, because we didn't have a lot of time to plan anything out more elaborate. And in my head, it was the T-1000 versus the T-100, classic Terminator versus the new Terminator, and like just go out there and that's the story. And then we had the finish, and the crowd got it. And like there's a lot of things like I told you, like I just feel out of it, not wrestling every week and whatnot. But I think everybody got it. So.
Yeah, and I'd like to have that match again. I thought you guys gelled really well. The whole show was fucking great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Starland,
a lot of talented guys.
Yeah, Starland was thrilled with it, and they're going to be running 4 shows a year, especially because I didn't know what to expect. I have a feeling they were close to sell out, if not sold out, but they don't want to tell me because it's a different deal I have with them. They don't want to tell me how good they do. But I was looking around.
That place was jam-packed.
Jam-packed.
I wonder how NXT did down the road that night. They were about 20 minutes away, right?
Yeah, I don't know the numbers they did, but overall, I know everyone that came there that night. It's been nothing but positive reviews, and it was great. And we'll have our next show April 29th. A little different lineup. Great Khali's coming in for that one.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, he's gonna.
Does he wrestle on these, or how's that work?
Define wrestle. You might see
in the ring in his gear with a bell.
I don't know about gear. I saw him he did a big time wrestling thing where he came out in his dress shirt, throws a chop, beats the guy, and that's all she wrote. So
wait, did he come out in business casual?
Business casual.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Didn't even throw on the pants and the boots.
No, nothing like that. Just one big karate chop. But we'll see what he's up to. I don't expect more than that. I think people. I mean, what can you really? I don't know if he's hurting. I mean, he's got to be.
I mean,
giant.
he's never been a gazelle in the ring. Let's be honest. I like him a lot, and I've always gotten along with him really, really well. And I always thought his legs were going to break in the match at some point. Like I thought, like the old, like Bambi,
like a deer, yeah,
like a little baby, like a little very
malnourished deer,
a malnourished deer. Like Bambi's the perfect example. Like I always just felt like his legs, he's just so damn big. Like I always just felt like, I swear I would watch him, and I love him. I just like, I go, we're gonna watch his legs just snap in half one of these days. And like his back doesn't bend because it's so fucking long.
Yeah.
Being a giant would fucking suck. Like he needs to be doing like Pilates, DDP yoga, and I feel like he doesn't, because when you're that big, it's just kind of like things are there, and I'm sure he has opportunities and he has money. He's always done really well for himself.
Yeah, he does.
But I would like to see him in good health in his later years, because that body, you have to, the way the world is designed, it's meant for people between 5 foot whatever and 6 foot whatever. And like Big Show and guys like him, that the world was not built for guys like that.
Yeah, so he'll be on the next one. But yeah, Starland went well. And then we took it into the next night at Brooklyn, which I didn't know what to expect, because Starland, I mean, walking in there before doors opened, I think we're at like 450 something pre-sold, which for an independent event, that's something I was pretty proud of. I've had a pre-sale. I think the highest I ever had was like 600 or 700 people. But like for the most part, I normally have like 200, 300, 100. I've had like 80 people pre-sold. For the next night, I only had about 150 to 200 pre-sold. And
yeah,
maybe that, I don't know.
I thought the show, I didn't think, I was looking, because the signing and everything.
Was
light and like, and then as we got to 8 o'clock, people started just coming in, and the place just filled up. And like, I honestly, and I do think this is the thing, and I always told you this, independent promotions, and if there's any independent promoters out there listening, the best thing you could do is advertise. And if people don't know a show exists, they can't go. And if they don't know certain performers are there, they're not going to go.
Yep.
And Facebook is a very valuable tool. Mm-hmm. And I will say, and I started and I got like my shit together on that because I was neglecting Facebook. And you have your Facebook game down, and like it is, and any promoters out there, if you invest in Facebook and putting your events on there and boosting and promoting them in advance, and I'm doing the same for all, like 2 weeks before every show, they're going on my boost, and
Sure.
I'll put a little money and it's.
And nobody's doing that, by the way. So if promoters book you, that's pretty. Like I told the promoter today,
I'll spend my own money like I have. Yeah, you have to.
I was like, hey,
I don't want people not there.
It actually happened with I'll say it, I don't care, Mike O'Brien. I was like, look, man, send the deposit because he wants to fucking start putting out advertisements. Boom,
Yeah.
He sent the deposit immediately. I was like, dude, like that, and that's smart.
And that's part of the key with having my name and my brand is it makes it easier when I advertise and people see, and that I'm the same guy. I worked for WWE. Now I work for myself. It's the same brand. And you're getting the same product that you would see at a WWE show. Except for now, it's, I'm in control. I'm the boss. And it's a lot better.
I got to thank you and Cody because of Starland, I actually have a new event this summer. It's in July, a really big show that he's specifically...
Summer Sizzler?
I should call it that, the Summer Sizzler Series.
I really hope, please. I love
I swear
that.
I will.
Say that 10 times.
Because he's like, hey, if I have an event at this, it's a giant, it's called Freedom Fest, New Jersey Fair. They get like 20,000, 30,000 people there. They're like, if I book a show, can you provide these two guys? I'm like, absolutely. So it's on a Thursday, and nobody has bookings on a Thursday.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
who are the two guys they wanted?
you and Cody.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm totally zoned out on that. You're going to say Khali and somebody else.
So it was a good weekend, great weekend. Had a fun little.
I was a mess for that weekend.
Oh yeah. Or before we say that, I'll say that I had the match too the night before, and I was stressed out. I'm always stressed out at shows, but
Rightfully so. Like I told you, like to book yourself to wrestle, that's like I don't see other promoters booking themselves in matches.
because I'm a goddamn mark.
By the way, do you always you go over all the time? I would imagine, right?
I don't think I've gone over, and gosh, I never win, man.
You were the only guy eliminated from our tag match with the Hardys. I popped for that.
My whole thing is from the Tommy Dreamer train of every time I lose, I actually get more over. So it's kind of my
because it shows that you're a humble promoter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So my match, it was me and Matthews versus I never worked Homicide before and Moth, and I never took the Cop Killer before. That was interesting.
Wait, was Homicide there?
Yeah, you didn't see him?
No.
He wrestled him. He was in my match.
Fuck. Wait,
Wow.
hold on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of not Homicide. I'm thinking of Hernandez.
Oh,
I don't know why. I was gonna say I thought I would recognize him if I would have seen him, but yeah.
No. So and the first move of the match, and we're just doing a brawl. We're doing just crazy shit. And my whole calf, I didn't drink any water that day. I didn't really stretch out. I drank no sugar or electrolytes. My first punch, my whole left calf just cramped up.
Did you do legs that day or no?
No, of course not. I didn't do anything that day.
Oh yeah.
And it took a lot, but I got through it. It was fine. But not as bad as your problem the next day. I don't know if you want to talk about what happened there.
No, I'm an idiot. I just on the way back, I think it was how far was Starland from that where I was at? About 30, 40 minutes?
Yeah, about that.
So I was planning when I driving back. I was craving vitamin water zeros that obviously have the stevia. And that's another drink out there for you guys. If you're looking for stevia, vitamin water zeros use stevia. And I was starving though. And like Jersey, all that New York, like it's not like here in Vegas, there's food on every corner. There's bars and grills on every corner. But like back east, the choices are, it just seems few and far between. But so I found a gas station and I just said, fuck, I just want vitamin water zero so bad. And I went in and I was like, I know I'm going to be hungry if I just drink a shake and try to go to bed. And I needed a few more calories. So I got a bag of those baked Lay's.
Okay.
I'll usually get like a bag of those on like after a wrestling match.
Yeah, yeah.
And the baked ones though, and because they're low fat, and I got a chicken salad sandwich, and I know a lot of people like say,
From a gas station. Yeah.
me and Vince actually had a whole. Did I ever tell you this?
No.
So when I went in there to talk to him about, I think it was about the singlet before when he wanted me out of the singlet, and God damn it, I want you in trunks, and show off those meaty legs.
It's a big leg guy, right?
Loves
Legs.
Oh, he loves a good pair of legs. Fucking didn't help me at all because of the fucking attorneys and sticking up for myself because they were assholes first. But lesson learned: don't stick up for yourself, guys.
But have good
I'm
legs.
kidding. Yeah, hell of a pair of legs. He actually, we got into a whole conversation, and like me and him would talk about random things. This happened multiple times where we talked about I think I mentioned it before, his suitcase that he carries around, his little luggage bag, is just filled with pills. Like
What? Really?
Supplements.
The supplements, okay.
Yeah, I thought they were like important documents in there and shit. And maybe sometimes he throws like something important in there.
Sure.
But it's his bag of pills. And I was just like, but he has it in probably like a $10,000, Louis Vuitton bag or something. Or something maybe specially VKM custom leather made, for him. And we like multiple things talking about that and like weights before and like talking about backs. It was just so many, just whatever. But like one time we got to talking about gas station sandwiches, and he was like, me and Hunter always joke about gas station sandwiches. Such shit. Just like he was so offended by the gas station sandwich. And I think subconsciously I knew that would piss him off. So I was like, it was in a very nice display. Like
Okay.
it was in. So
This must have been
usually-
Quick Check. Was it Quick Check you went to?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know that. But it was like you had to open up the refrigerated little display.
Sure.
But there were only two choices: chicken salad sandwiches and ham salad sandwiches.
Oof.
And I've never seen ham salad
Yeah.
sandwiches. And I go, oh, that sounds like a really fucking bad choice. But I wish I would have taken that now because the chicken salad sandwich, it tasted totally fine, by the way.
Okay.
No problem. But I get in my car, I eat everything. I drink one of the vitamin water zeros. I'm feeling good. I get back to my hotel. I have my shake. I get ready for bed. And as you know, and we haven't really talked about it on the podcast, but I have sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And it's something, and I'll tell you, we'll talk about this on another level. But I think if you guys, anybody who has suspicions that them or a loved one may have sleep apnea, go to a sleep center, set up an appointment, and go see a doctor. Stay overnight for 3 or 4 hours and get monitored because it's a very, very serious thing. And it has changed my life totally the last, probably 3.5, 4 years that I've been on it. And it,
You have the machine, right? The CPAP?
The CPAP, and I wear it when I go to bed. And I hated it at first. And because essentially when you go to sleep, I would stop breathing for little brief periods during sleep. And this thing keeps your airway open with the air. The continuous air. And so when I put that on to go to bed at night, I kind of like to just, I put that on, I put my headphones on, and I throw my meditation on, and I go to bed. And I have a whole routine. And so like, I lie down and I had it on and I didn't feel great. And I knew right away, like when you're on the road in wrestling, I've had food poisoning quite a few times the last several years, but I always would wake up in my sleep and go throw up and I'd be totally fine.
Okay.
But I think that was because on the road, you can't there's something that when you're on the road working 4 or 5 days a week, you kind of harden up to that lifestyle.
Sure.
Where you can't and don't get me wrong, things still happen, but I just kind of gotten immune to getting sick and where my body would recognize something foreign and throw it up. Well, it recognized it again early on and I was so fucking tired. And I said,
oh no,
I go, I'll wake up and throw up. I'll be fine. Well, I fell asleep. I didn't wake up for 3 or 4 hours and I digested the fucking chicken salad sandwich and God damn it. it was the worst night of my life. I couldn't stop shitting. I shit probably 12 to 14 times. And I'm not talking like just a little. I'm talking like losing body fluids up the yin yang. Like I probably lost 12 pounds that night. Like, I kid you not, I couldn't.
No, I remember the messages. You're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And then you said something about your sheets.
Yeah, thank you. I shit so badly. I went through 2 different pairs of boxers and shorts that night. Luckily, I always bring a few pairs of shorts and workout pants with me. So I was falling asleep, but it was just coming out on its own because like I had the gas, but like, I'd fall asleep. And then on one of them, I had a dream that I was in the shower. This is what I told you. This is probably the best one. And like, guys, if you don't, I can't believe he talks about this. Like, I'm a fucking human being like everybody else. I don't give a fuck. I will always shoot you guys straight. I have no problems talking about my personal life or anything like that. Like, I don't care. So I had a dream while I'm fucking dying in my sleep with my sleep apnea mask on, that I was in the shower. And it was such a liberating, free dream, Pat.
Yeah,
I was in the shower, water's flowing, a nice hot shower, but I was sick in my dream too.
Okay.
And so I had to, like, in my dream, I was like, oh no. So I'm thinking in my dream, I'm in the shower. I just got to let it out. So I shit in the shower, or so I thought I was in the shower. A lot, and then I woke up, and and I go, oh fuck. At this point, I already went through 1 pair of shorts, 1 pair of boxers, and 1 pair of pants, and that was minimal, though it was just enough to where like fuck, and I had to like take them off, and I threw them out, and I like because I'm not gonna even put them in my bag, and like I don't even want to like. I have a laundry bag, but like whoever cleaned that hotel, I'm sorry. This time though, this was like level 10, and I go, God, and then I turn the lights on, and I'm dying. I'm sick. I can barely walk. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm. And I look at the sheets, and I sent you a picture of just 3 huge stains. Of shit stains on the bed.
They look like greenish color, had a greenish hue.
Well, I was fucking sick, Pat. What do you expect?
Yeah. No, sorry. I was like, they're like bright green.
I was like, oh, I wish my shit was brown right now. At that point, the color of it is completely irrelevant. And so I took them off, and I laid the quilt down and everything, and I went back to bed, and I wake up in the morning, and like, I wanted to get up and go eat and go work out. I woke up at like 8 or 9 something, and I couldn't move. I'd gone to the bathroom probably 12 times, 14 times, whatever. Like, just, I was so dehydrated and so weak. I was a malnourished kitten, just lying in bed. And all I wanted to do was go shower. And like, I was like, I just got to get in the shower. Just get in the shower and like clean off and get changed, go get Pepto-Bismol, let that sit in, and then go get food. I need food so bad. Mm-hmm. It took me an hour and a half to get up out of bed, to go from the getting out of bed to getting ready. And then I went and got Pepto-Bismol at a gas station. And then I sat in the car for 20 minutes before I even went in the gas station. I just couldn't, like, I was just so tired. I'm lying there, like, wanting to fall asleep. And like, but I was like, I can't keep sleeping. I need to get food into my body. I've lost so much fluid.
Yeah.
I picked up a couple vitamin water zeros. Then I went to Applebee's, sat in the parking lot for like 25 minutes there. And then I went and had soup and a chicken quesadilla. And I was like sick to my stomach. And I just sat in there. Like, I was like, thank God I didn't have to wrestle that night. It was,
oh man. Yeah.
That would have been brutal. But like anyone who came to that signing in Brooklyn, I was finally coming around. But I felt like shit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you seemed okay, but I felt really... So here's what happened, too. I was a little stressed out because I was like, this show, 200 pre-sold. The building is only a 500-seat capacity. And it seemed like a little bit light. And then I don't know what... around 7:30, 8 o'clock, when the signing was ending, people were coming in by the droves. And I was like, holy fuck. And I was less busy. I didn't have to wrestle that night, so I'm helping out with the ticket booth, making sure everyone's situated, kind of walking around, and then we were sold out, and then I felt terrible because you were sick, and
my voice was really shitty. My voice is ever since I wrestled is infrequently, but I've always had voice issues from screaming. Feed me more like an asshole. But go ahead.
I remember seeing you, and you're like, I'm going to take off. I'm like, cool, but I'm like, fuck. I really hope these people don't go, because Jake the Snake was ready to go. He did a little seminar with my guys. He taught them, which was a crazy day.
Kevin, by the way, showed me the video. We won't, and for the sake of everything, we won't talk about it, I guess.
No. We'll talk. Okay, so Jake Roberts taught a seminar with my guys, and I got to say, for the first hour, he was awesome. He actually said like 3 or 4 things that I learned 3 or 4 things from the hour. I was like, holy shit.
If you don't mind me asking before you talk, what did he say? Would you mind sharing that with everybody listening?
Sure. He has a big thing with, guys have their different style of locking up, and he's a big fan of when you lock up to cup your hands to smack the guy's trap and bicep loudly, because he needs that thud, and he will only accept that as a lockup. He doesn't care how aggressive it looks. He hates when you put the hand like a collar and elbow tie up behind the head. He prefers it on the trap. I don't like that. I like behind the head, but everyone's different.
I will say, and that is great advice, but you have different. I think in today's day and age, most wrestlers are totally cool with that. Mm-hmm. I know, like when you're like training with like certain people coming up, there's certain things that teach you to lock up light but look like you're aggressive. But sound is a huge thing in wrestling. That's why I hate backbreakers. Backbreakers don't make noise, and I don't.
Good point. Yeah.
I would rather take a guy and slam him to the mat any day of the week, because I get the noise out of it. Where the backbreaker gets, or anything on your knee, and I get guys trying to be different. But you watch any match in Chris Hero. Chris Hero throws awesome forearms, right?
It's a noise. Yeah,
it's a noise. It helps
Young
people
Bucks with the super kick. It's the same like.
It helps people connect with the fake fighting a little more, if that makes sense. Whereas a backbreaker, it could hurt fucking 10 times worse, and it's way harder on your body doing something and dropping a guy on your knee and then just letting him go on the mat. And I've always said it never gets the reaction that it should, even if it looks devastating. I was like, I'd rather drop a guy on the mat any day of the week.
That makes a lot of sense. I never thought of it that way. So he was really good with stuff
I might be dumb as fuck, Pat, but I have a few good ideas with wrestling.
Creator Pro Las Vegas opening up very soon, hopefully.
Birthday parties only.
Birthday parties only. Holy shit! The birthday party feedback through the roof, man.
By the way, and we're going to continue talking about this. Wade Barrett texts me or messaged me, Stu Bennett these days, a good buddy of the big guys, and that was his favorite thing. He was like, that would be the one thing he said that would get him to put the pair of trunks back on, because wrestling has left a very sour taste in his mouth. Also, because he's the fucking man, and he is. The guy was over. He's been over multiple times in his career. He had one of the best bodies, if not the best abs in WWE history. And they completely fucked him over time and time again. And me and him have always been very, very close and talked. And he's a smart guy, and he has so much going on. And I'm so proud of him for everything. But he was just saying that the birthday parties are the one thing that would get him to put a pair of trunks back on again. So if you're a promoter out there and you want to book Ryback versus Wade Barrett for birthday parties, we're fucking down for it.
I did politic. I sent a message. I said, because I put up the picture that I found on my phone of me being Pat Cena with the kids in the crowd. And I said,
I love that.
Anytime you're ready, man, I'm like, you can come back and work Pat Cena, but Pat Cena doesn't lose. And Wade was like, I just have to think of a different as crazy character to fight Pat Cena. So he's on board. I'm supposed to see him Monday, actually, in the city.
I didn't even think about that. Wrestling, he would have to be, he can't be Wade Barrett, right?
No, no way. He's got to be something else. Put a mask on him. I don't know.
What about Bad News? Do they own the whole Bad News Barrett thing, or
Oh gosh, I don't know. Who knows?
There's a way around that.
Start filing those trademarks. Yeah.
I mean, those birthday parties, I'm telling you,
I have 2 or 3 of them have been booked since the last episode. I swear to God, I got about 5 emails, and I think I've booked 2 to 3 of them, which are which are great. So
When days do those usually run on? I
Sundays.
joke about this a lot. I'm very, very interested in birthday parties.
Okay.
I kid you, because here's how I'm looking at this.
Sure.
And you're my buddy, but you're my manager also.
Yeah.
This isn't a normal appearance feed in my mind.
No. Okay.
And because like it's a kid's birthday party, so it's for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
But piggybacking my booking on the weekend into a birthday party sounds like really a cool thing to me.
I can make that happen. 100%.
I want you to start putting this out there in people's heads because I feel like having the big guy Ryback at a birthday party, I want this solely, one, because it will make kids happy.
Yeah.
100% kids are going to love it. But two, it makes a hell of a chapter for my autobiography. And I think I would like to experience kids' birthday parties during this part of my career.
All right. I can make that happen. I got a lot coming up. I have one next weekend, I believe. But I'll figure out a way if there's an off if you're up here for a Friday, Saturday. Sunday's the best day. Sunday morning, here's the routine too. The routine I also do. So I get all the pizza ready. I call that once the party starts setting up. For the parents, I got to get them the old Dunkin' Donuts coffee thing. So they're they're caffeinated and can put up with the kids. But Sunday morning is a big birthday party day. I wish I could have 2 a day. But
the only thing I request is when I am booked on these birthday parties is I get the hero dad spot.
Of course.
The shine has to be on the big guy Ryback for these birthday parties. Unless a dad is cool enough with doing a double shell shock side by side, that I'm cool with. But
you know who did work the birthday party? We had one person. Hawkins would do them before for a while, and I would do them too. But
what a disappointment! I'm kidding, Kurt.
One time I'm wrestling, and this dad goes, "Hey, by the way, I booked Nikolai Volkov." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Nikolai Volkov's coming to the party." I go, "Oh, okay. That's cool." So right after the first match, I look out, and Nikolai Volkov is in the fucking crowd with his full Russian attire. And I'm like, all right. And they said, yeah, he's going to do the Russian anthem with the kid, the way he used to sing with the Sheik. Do you remember that? He used to do the whole and he did it. And I'm like, I don't know why the kid would like this, but okay. And then the main event happens right before the main event, where it's supposed to be. It normally goes with your lead babyface versus your main heel, and then all the heels come out and start beating up the babyface, and then
this is where I want for the big guy Ryback spot,
right here.
Cena, where you're wrestling and all the heels come out. Cue the music. Fucking feed me more. Here I come. Power bombs around the horn. Fucking save you. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me cake. Feed me cake. Feed me cake. Right into the fucking birthday cake. We all go home happy.
And so that spot, and most of the time I am getting beat up, and then the baby faces make the save. But before that starts, the dad goes, "Hey, Nikolai wants to wrestle." I go, "Okay." I go,
"That's the old worker mentality. Put him around a ring and."
He's in fucking sandals with socks on. And his full red, I don't know how old he is, 60, 70. And
an old man.
He's an old man.
Say. Yeah.
He worked the match. It was 4-on-4, and he was one of the baby faces. He cranked the arm. He gave a couple elbows, maybe a headlock. And so
Take any bumps?
No bumps. No bumps
that
there.
doesn't count. That doesn't count.
But he cheered on from the apron, and Nikolai Volkov was a participant in the Creative Pro birthday parties at creativeprowrestling.com. If you want to book yours in Long Island area or New York, we can make that happen.
I think we need to. I'm okay doing this on air. You need to add a Ryback feature. Would you like to add the big guy Ryback to your birthday party? And then we have to have a set fee on there extra where I'm an addition to that where it is feasible, because obviously it's birthday parties. But honestly, it's not going to be cheap, but it's not going to be. We're not. It's because it's a specialty. It's a luxury item.
Has to be a single mom, any single struggling mom.
As I skip Sheffield's famous line, "Choosy moms choose Jeff, easy moms choose Skippy." That was always the classic line of Skip Sheffield. Holy shit! I forgot I had shirts made with all that. Actually, story of my life. So what else? What else did Jake the Snake say?
Okay, so Jake...
hard lockups, cupping. I like that because if you lock up behind the neck, you can hurt a guy's neck. I like the trap. I'm cool with that.
I like the trap and then slide to the back of the neck.
Yep,
that's
100%.
So his other thing was running the ropes, taking big steps. He's like, watch me run he ran the ropes with like baby steps, and then, which I kind of knew already. Like, obviously, everyone kind of knows.
Did he? I will say though, those old timers hit the ropes fucking aggressively.
Oh, and he was a big fan of like hitting the ropes with
not like a pussy.
Well, no, he would. He's like, all you guys fucking hit the ropes with your back. You're gonna break your neck. The rope's gonna break. You're gonna break your neck. He's like, you hit your ropes on your side, which is like an old timer thing. Like
that happened to Mark Henry down in developmental, by the way, at OVW once.
Did it?
And, yeah, when he was down there, they broke, but he was all right. But I remember he fell out of the ring, I believe. I think it had to have been Mark Henry. I was there for him. It was insane. But dude, people don't think about that with ropes. It's a very realistic thing that could happen.
Oh, sure. Especially with ropes. And even the ropes I use, they're cables, like kind of like WCW was. Like they're steel cables with garden hose over it, literally, rubber garden hose. And I've had that happen on several occasions. I've had the bottom rope break multiple times. Ricochet and Tony Nese broke it last time. One of my students, who's a lighter guy, CPA, hit the ropes. It broke. He flipped over, hit his head on the canvas, not canvas, on the floor, and he had a brain bleed. It was bad. I thought he was going to die. Like he hit it so hard. I was like, he's dead. Like that's it.
Your whole weight is going down when you're expecting to get ricocheted off the ropes and have that, and then you just go straight down. Man, it's scary. I've seen it happen. It's scary watching it happen.
Yeah.
And
because you have no control, because you go head over feet, and then you're probably going head over feet a second time because of momentum.
I've always said I wanted, actually with that match with Brian Cage, he did the dive that I want to start doing, just the running front flip over the top rope.
Okay.
Because I could do front flips really easily, and but I always, in the back of my head, I feel like, what if I get my head caught in the ropes and I just snap my neck on the way down? That just die right there, just like. But obviously I would grab the ropes to do it, but and I always picture that's the way I'm going to go out.
And then my Creator Pro ring actually only has 2 ropes on it right now, because literally 2 weeks ago, one of our older students, named Wally, God bless him, he's great. He's in his 40s. He hit the rope, it snapped, flipped over, and
he's 40 years old in wrestling school?
Absolutely. I got a 55-year-old guy you met this weekend. He was pumping up next to you in Cage.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that.
But basically,
Jake,
that was all Jake's thing, was like the rope stuff, and he showed how to kind of like how he'd maneuver his body to appear taller. But anyway, so he was really into it the first hour.
Yeah. And
then come hour number 2, maybe not as Jake has to smoke a lot of cigarettes. Jake is completely clean, completely coherent. Like he would feel way better if he quit smoking, by the way. I think that's just his thing, man. Like he looked great though. He physically, compared to like what we've seen him before, I thought he looked incredible. Like his hair looked
compared
good.
to what he looked at, he would look even better if he quit smoking. I wish he would, because that shit just is killing him.
So he had to kind of take breaks, and then towards the end, you can tell he's getting a little restless. And Kevin filmed him, like while he had guys wrestling, and Jake's like stretching on the outside, like just walking around, like not really paying attention.
Yeah, the matches. That's the video I saw. I was like, I'm glad that it went well the first hour, because I saw that video. I was like, oh man, I felt bad for the people, like just seeing that little. But I'm glad it obviously went a lot better the first hour. And he got some, like, again, if you got one, and anybody paying for a seminar, if you get one piece of valuable advice out of that, which obviously it sounds like there was multiple pieces, then like it's worth it. That's how you get, that's like when people like, you sign up for like a real estate seminar or a business seminar. There's a Tony Robbins thing here in August, and it's expensive, but like, that's how you pay for that stuff, and you learn. And like, you might get one thing out of it. And it could change your life. There was actually a review on my book on Amazon, and the guy left me 4 stars, so thank you. But he was like, a lot of good advice. A lot of it I already knew. I thought 10% of the book was wasted about colors, which
colors.
I talk about colors and the importance of color,
okay.
and I break down and from each color and kind of their meaning and everything, because colors are very important to me and they control mood. But I feel like the guy just skipped over all of it. Like he didn't give a shit about it. I'm like, well, there you go. If you would have read about colors, maybe you would have learned something.
Shit, I want to read about colors now. All right.
That I talked like that's like a huge reason. Like on my singlets, everything I did was strategically. There was always a reason for the coloring that I used on everything, and because I remember as a kid, on the colors that I liked and that intrigued me, and so you just all that stuff plays a part. But yeah, colors are very important. But like it's worth going to seminars to get one piece of advice here and there adds up over time. It could change your life. So.
Yeah, I agree. So, because I felt bad too at first. I'm like, no, the first hour was really good, and I learned a couple things, and you know, they're my guys, and if I learned them, then I'm sure they were.
I would actually enjoy doing seminars. I would really enjoy.
You have one coming up in Germany. You know that,
oh, do
right?
I? No.
Yeah, April 22nd. You'll be taking part in a seminar over there.
Is Alex Wright going to be my translator?
I hope so. He's got a wrestling school, which I didn't know his dad. I didn't put together. I didn't know his dad was Stephen Wright. I'm an idiot, and I was watching matches of his dad, who was a hell of a technical wrestler in England.
I've been watching a lot of old school matches, like back in Slaughter, Backlund, Snuka from his book. Like, man, I love finding new matches that I haven't searched for before, and the pacing on them is totally different than today's pacing, but like. The storytelling is on point, and I'm reading Backlund's book. I've always liked him a lot. I like him even more after reading his book. Like the man is a fucking machine, and he even talks about in his book, and with Vince Sr. and then like a lot of the boys didn't trust Vince Jr.
Okay,
like I just thought that was fucking jeez. Like how before Vince had any. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And none of the old timers really fucking trusted him. I was just like, wow, like that's what a fucking. I wish I could go back in time and just fucking be a fly on the wall for all of that, for a lot of that stuff, and just see Vince Jr. walking around like a fucking mark. I think right now is a good time to take a break, and then we can come back and we'll talk about our new sponsor.
All right, perfect.
Do you love having a nice cold soda, but don't want the empty calories or artificial sweeteners such as aspartame and sucralose destroying your health and making you feel like a walking zombie? Well, with Zevia, you can have your soda and drink it too, without worrying about harmful ingredients or calories, because there aren't any. Zevia has 0 artificial ingredients and uses the all-natural sweetener stevia, the miracle plant that provides 200 times the sweetness of sugar with 0 calories and no impact on your blood sugar levels. On top of that, Zevia has no nasty caramel coloring and is completely non-GMO project verified. The end result is a delicious and safe way to enjoy your soda without the bad stuff. Zevia offers 14 different flavors of soda, 4 flavors of sparkling water, and 3 delicious energy drinks. It's the clean pop that you and your family will crave. Want to try Zevia for yourself? You're in luck, because Zevia is offering listeners of Conversation with the Big Guy free, that's right, free 6-packs to try Zevia for yourself. If you live in the United States or Canada, all you have to do is go to www.zevia.com/podcast and sign up and get a free 6-pack in the mail. You'll love it. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.zevia.com/podcast today and find Zevia in a store near you. And we're back.
All right, we're back. Glass is full again. Let's what were we discussing on this episode?
I was just, how about that, having Zevia on board? I think that's a big acquisition for us, and something I'm very proud of.
I mean, for a while, I mean, you deserve all the credit because you got me aboard the Zevia train. I don't drink anything but that, which is kind of crazy because I was a diet soda junkie, and now they're sponsoring this show, which is awesome. And, you have the little live read in there, but do we explain that at all, how that works?
I think, first of all, I should say thank you to our listeners, because it's because of their social media feedback and a lot of them trying that got Zevia's attention and was able to help make this, become a possibility of getting Zevia on board. And that's been one of my things from the beginning that I want to promote things that I truly love and enjoy and use. And Zevia, like the other day when Buffalo Wild Wings was on our show, the read for the ad for Buffalo Wild Wings, it made me happy because I legitimately love, and when I say love, I capital letters love Buffalo Wild Wings. And so things like that and products and things that I use that can help people that get off regular diet soda and that shit diet soda and aspartame and sucralose, like I am. Thank you, Zevia. Thank you for everybody out there. And just the beginning of our partnership, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Very cool. We're also going to talk about, we have the reviews that we need to get into, or the...
Oh, yeah.
We picked one review, and we had issues last week because we had a lot of imposters trying to...
And I told you this was going to be a problem. I got a lot of emails. I cannot decipher. I have a lot of emails from people saying they were the winner, and there's no way to decipher who's telling the truth and who's not. As far as I know, I don't know. And I had a feeling that was going to happen. So we have to be, and I'll take the blame, and we have to pick better. We have to pick a clear-cut winner that we know that is them. And
they have to prove it too, I think.
Yeah, people are it sucks if people are dishonest and try to take advantage of situations. But it's what do you expect? So it's but nonetheless, I think we move on and we just do a better job picking somebody this week.
So we're at 145 reviews. Thanks, guys. One came in from I'll let you decide which one's the winner. The review said,
"Give me your three top ones, and I'll pick."
Okay. One said, "You guys rock." From No More Dre Day. Been listening since the beginning and love the show. It makes every Monday so much better for me. Come to like you guys so much that if we were in jail together, I would have your back in the shower. That's one.
Fuck yeah, that's deep. Wait, that sounded really bad, actually, doesn't it?
Oh, man. Wait, that's last week. Let me click back. Top notch. Here's one. And the comments is, I had sex with a black girl from Dirty STL. Conversation with the Big Guy is one of my favorite podcasts. It truly helps me through my dreaded Monday mornings at work. I've been listening since the beginning, but felt compelled to write this review after hearing Ryback disproving the old adage of once you go black, you never go back, LOL. Don't give up, Big Guy, and keep up the great work, you guys.
Once you go Ryback, you never go black. That's the that's the new catchphrase, buddy.
And number 3, the topic was, or the comment was 4 out of 10 from Bret Hart. The guy's
what?
Bret Hart, when he's not impressed, he gives 4 out of 10. You ever heard about that before?
No.
That's like a whole online. It would take I forget what it was, and people were going to get so mad, but he wasn't impressed with something, and he gave it a 4 out of 10, and people have ran wild with that. They give everything 4 out of 10.
What was the match? Was it a match? Or?
I don't remember. Fuck, I should Google right now and figure that out.
He doesn't like Hunter that much, I know. It had to have been something with Hunter.
People are probably really mad that I don't know I don't remember what it is. But this is from the King of Mark style, Billy 69, 69, 79, 89. Figured I would go ahead and leave a review. Currently shitting at work, and I don't feel like going back. The whimsical tales of one Sir Pat Buck and the Knight Ryback Reeves will leave you dying for the next segment. Listen to their journeys every Monday on the podcast app. So those are your 3. Which one would you like to pick as the winner of this week?
I'm a big fan of Bret Hart, so anybody with a Bret Hart reference is the winner.
So 4 to 10 Bret Hart, King of Mark style on Twitter, Billy 69697989. You are the winner. Prove that it's you, and you'll get some
picture waist down.
And you're the winner this week.
The only way you can prove that you're fucking real.
Keep it up, guys. There's been a lot of them that came in. Sorry, I'd read them all, but I read them all, and if you want to ever talk to me on Twitter, I will reply to you. You guys get great feedback, and these reviews are super important to us. You guys are awesome. And
no, thank you guys very much. We do appreciate it. And what King of Mark style, right?
King of Mark style. That's what he put.
Free supplement of your choice and a Feed Me More nutrition shaker bottle this week.
Okay. So, what are you drinking tonight? What's
I told you, I think it's important every week. We're going to have the quote. I have a quote of the week this week, a fitness tip of the week, and to talk about a little more.
Wow, you're a prepared patty.
I really feel bad because I don't think people. I was telling you, like I'm doing so much right now, and I love wrestling so much, and I want to but I just have so much going on in my life, and I'm like, it's a lot, but it's we got to put even I think more focus on this show because I think as good as it is, and I think we could really we could do a lot more with this, and I don't want it to be about all wrestling, and I love helping people, and I have the email, and a lot of people reach out, and I do my best to get back to as many as I can.
I was shocked.
But I told you.
Yeah, I was shocked with because originally you said you wanted to be more about wrestling, and I do too. But at the same time, I was kind of shocked with people writing and really caring about the small little fitness things thrown in there, and the whole workout stuff, and all these little things. They actually, I was like, holy crap, people really do want to hear about that stuff.
We need to talk about it a lot more, and we're going to this weekend. We got some fan questions, and I'm going to do my best to try to help educate people on my mindset and what has helped me. And you don't have to. It's just what has worked for me and the mindset, the Feed Me More mindset, and it really has done me a lot of good. And if you could take it and shape it and mold it into whatever you want to fit your life, then great. Because to me that it's a lot more rewarding helping people on that end than anything wrestling. And wrestling is great entertainment. Like I love it. And but changing someone's life for the better is you can't match that. But we were talking about red wines earlier, and I said every week we should do a new red wine. So like the weekend review for red wines, like on my end this week, I went with Uncensored by Geyser Peak Winery. And it's a red blend, 2011 California red blend. And it's not bad.
Okay.
It's
lighter.
It's
oaky
a little
taste.
strong. A little strong.
Okay.
And they always say don't buy a red wine based on the label. And but I figured with last week being censored that doing uncensored this week was the only fucking way to go.
Wow.
So not a bad red wine for the week.
Have you been to a winery before? I think you'd like those. Those are awesome, man.
I would love, honestly, to go on a date to one of those.
Well, get yourself a lady, come out to here, and we'll lower
Think about that. What about a better way? Because, like, the girl doesn't have to, she might just get drunk on, there's
It's
no,
perfect.
Yeah.
They're all out here. We go out to Long Island.
Oops.
And you sit there, you go there sober, and you normally got to try about 6 different wines. So you start with your white, and you progressively get darker, and then you find the one that you like out of those 6, and then you got to drink a whole glass or 2 of it, and then you go to another winery and do the same thing. It's the best.
I would bring a flask with my big guy flask, just to be safe. But it's kind of sitting a little to the girl too.
But yeah, so I'm drinking a thing called it's called Frey, Frey, and it's a Petite Syrah. It's an organic wine with no sulfates. I've been trying that out.
You're doing the organic thing again.
Yeah, I found there's a whole section in the wine store nearby, and I'm going to go through the organic bottles because it just, I don't know. I get horrible hangovers, and I want to try this out to see if there's a difference. There wasn't last week. I still was pretty tired the next day. But
really?
Yeah, it hits me hard,
I noticed
man.
no difference.
Wow.
I wake up like anything. I just don't, like when I do red wine now, unless like I did, an extraordinary amount, but like usually for a podcast,
like the night before my wedding.
Oh, where then I went out with
you never said this story, yeah.
No, a girl that I had met, I went out with.
I'm sorry, I got to set the scene. So
Yeah, okay.
You're in town. I got married last August.
I had my surgery. I hadn't returned to wrestling. I lost a little bit of weight. I'd had my nose and ear surgery.
And you're like, you were concerned about that. I'm like, you're going to be fine. You're bigger than everybody at the wedding. I think you'll be.
I was very, very conscious because I was thinner because I went to Rusev's wedding before.
That's right.
And Miz and everybody, it's me with the Hawaiian shirt on. And like, I remember Miz and like, Miz goes, man, your face, I've never seen it so thin. And like Miz is an asshole and he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care if I just had ear and nose surgery, you fucking idiot. Like, I haven't been able to work out for 6 weeks and like, I'm not eating them out. But he was the only guy. Everybody else, oh, you look great. I don't care. Fucking lie to me. Like, you know, like, fuck, you look like the fucking big guy, huh? And like, but Miz, oh my God, you look so frail. I feel like I could beat you up right now. And like, Miz, I could be fucking 180 pounds with AIDS on my last day, and that will never fucking happen. God. But go ahead.
So you came in an extra day early, and we recorded the first couple episodes of this podcast.
To work out.
Yeah. And then, so the next day was my rehearsal dinner, and you were there. The whole bridal party's there, which is quite a bit of wrestlers. And then we go back to the hotel after, and you know we
drank. I was fucking hammered at the
rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, but I was pissed, by the way, because they got me chicken though, and grilled chicken, and like I think I had something else.
Yeah.
But it was like pizza and like breaded wings, and I'm watching everybody just like cave in, like just dive in, and I was like, holy shit! Like I knew I was drinking. If I would have ate that, I would have woke up skinny fat the next morning.
And but I remember we got back to the hotel, and you're drinking a lot. I went to bed early. I had a big day the next day, but I don't think you're
getting married.
Yeah, I don't think you went to bed though.
No, I drank all night with you guys, and then so here's the deal. I kind of turn into Frank the Tank once I get going. So like, I'm much more, obviously responsible in my later years, and I'm 35 now. But I do red wine because it keeps me under control. But I had so much red wine that night, and it was my first night out. Like, I'm a loner. We've talked about this.
Sure.
Like, I love being alone and whatnot. I travel alone. It's just my thing. I'm just a loner. And but I love being around people. And like, it felt like, I'd come out of the cage for the night, and it was a night to have fun. And when that red wine starts, I could put down, a lot of liquor. I got a cool story. I remember with drinking Cena. Everyone always talks about how much Cena could drink.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this story right after this. I could drink a lot of liquor. And I drank a lot of red wine this night. And when everybody went to the bar afterwards at the hotel, and the bartender knew who I was, so he wasn't charging me for the red wine.
Meanwhile, none of us could get a fucking drink. I'm like, hey man, everyone's here. I'm the groom. Can I get a refill? And like, totally just fucking Mark for life in his eyes, just pouring wine.
But this, by the way, a black gentleman, and this is actually an ongoing rib with me and Curtis Axel. Black people love the big guy, and I don't know why that is. I cannot tell you. This was after like we were well into the Ryback phase, and like I was not undefeated by any stretch of the imagination. But Curtis, I would always tell Curtis, I go, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if our black fan base watch every week or just choose to remember me the way they want to remember me.
Okay.
But they don't. I get people, on the road. This was every week. And Curtis would hear the story every week. And I would they think I'm undefeated. And there would be, workers at the arenas and they go, motherfucking Ryback undefeated. And I just got beat by the Usos that night with Curtis Axel and fucking for a month straight, and then putting over Goldust and fucking Stardust for 2 months straight, and motherfucking Ryback in the house. And hotels and my man Ryback undefeated. This happened so many times.
Okay.
And Curtis thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And then finally one day we were leaving the arena and he witnessed it in person, an entire staff of men and women. And they just man, that's Ryback undefeated. And I kid you not, it is one of the funniest things of my, like, and this guy was a black gentleman, and he loved himself some Ryback. And who am I to ruin the fucking, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. And in his mind, I'm undefeated, and fuck yeah, I'm undefeated. So I drank a lot of red wine that night.
Sorry. Yeah.
I met a lovely lady friend who came and picked me up and drove me to another bar in which...
Is a longtime friend, or is this a new stranger?
A stranger.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And I didn't have sex with her or anything that night. She's actually buys Feed Me More Nutrition. She's a great girl.
Really?
And yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she messages me, and she was on her best behavior that night, but she, damn it, took me out, and the bar we went to, I don't know where it was, but they were all Ryback fans. Every drink we had was for free that night. They literally let me, and I can't, Pat, I can't make this up.
No, I believe you.
There's cops. They gave me bottles of wine.
To take home with you, right?
To take home after we drank for free all night.
Jesus
me and her.
Christ.
And cops are watching us leave with these bottles of wine, shaking me, giving me my hand, giving me high fives. And which I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I went to bed that night. A funny story, me and that girl, we actually slept naked next to each other the entire night. And she was on her best behavior.
Okay.
So, but she was in her mind, she was not
doing anything.
No. And I always give her shit for that. And I was like, oh yeah, now, wait till you're not going to get a second date. I'm kidding, guys, but not really. She's never had it. But I woke up for your wedding a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And I was there.
No, you were there. Everyone was there on time. I'm like, you're right.
I was there before a lot of people, I feel like.
And I remember at one point you're like, man, I just drank a lot, dude. And yeah, I feel like that kind of not ruined the wedding for you, but I think you were drinking coffee the whole night. Just kind of.
I couldn't drink at the wedding. I couldn't have one drink. I didn't want to you don't understand. I had so much red wine. I don't think I had red wine for a month after that.
Wow.
It was.
That's one thing with wine. We can't.
Sober.
I'll drink it at dinner maybe, but if you get really wrecked on red wine, you'll stop. You can't you'll take a week or two off to kind of, get your stuff going again.
Did I ever tell you about the story with me? It was a tribute to the troops.
Okay.
And we did an appearance at a bowling alley at some point in the day where a bunch of the troops, it was our last stop of the day.
Okay.
It was me, John Cena, R-Truth, and Santino Marella. So, there were hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
Well, this bowling alley had a bar and bowling lanes. Mm-hmm. We're up all day working, doing appearances all day. And it was great meeting all the troops and going on the different, the ships and seeing all the different cool things. And we decided the fans got to watch us do a 2-on-2 bowling game.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever told you this.
No, never.
And I think it was me and R-Truth versus Santino and Cena, I believe, were the teams.
Yeah.
And we did the drinking game where every frame or every round, the loser had to do a shot.
Whoa.
And along with our drinks that we're drinking.
That's tough. Yeah.
And I was fucked up at the end of this. And a couple funny notes from this. I remember this was when I was red hot with the merchandise, and Cena made a smart ass comment to me. And at some point, and it was just, dude, we're just bowling, having fun, getting drunk. And I remember I said something along the lines.
What country? Is this in the U.S. or?
In the States, okay, in the States. Virginia, I think, somewhere in Virginia, maybe Richmond.
Okay.
And I said, enjoy being number one in merchandise because you're soon going to be number two, asshole. And he just like, he did not appreciate that.
No.
And it was fucking, and it was, I just laughed so fucking hard. And he just so sensitive to the whole thing. But I forget who saw him. I want to say it was like Ted DiBiase saw him later that night. And because like Cena's been known to put down a tremendous amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
And like he was a mess. He was like stripping at the bowling alley, and like he was like doing some really dumb shit where I was like, and I was fucked up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, oh man, this guy's out of control. Ted DiBiase told me, he goes, you were drinking. You were the one he was drinking with. I go, yeah, me, Santino, and Truth. He goes, I've never seen him drunker. Like he was, and I felt so proud of myself that I was like not that bad in comparison. I was like, because you always hear like how much he could fucking drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I ended up, they won. They beat us.
Like, it was
they beat
shots,
us
not
bowling.
beer.
We were doing beer, but doing shots for the losers of each frame.
Shots of what? You remember?
Probably whiskey.
Whiskey. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
that's rough.
And
man.
like straight up. And I just remember they beat us. They beat us both games.
Okay.
And it wasn't bad or anything, but they beat us. And I'm like, I'll admit it straight up. But I drank a lot more than them. Mm-hmm. I think it was me and Truth. Truth was fucked up too. He was, and he could drink a bit too. So, but it was honestly, it was a lot of fun. So,
All right. Happy times bowling with Cena. So what else we have?
what else is going on? Did you have a good Valentine's this week?
Gosh, I'm trying to think.
You're married. Your first year in marriage. What'd you guys do for Valentine's Day?
We went out on last Saturday because, I mean, Valentine's Day is on Tuesday, and I work Tuesday. I taught wrestling on Tuesday.
Okay.
I was doing drop-down leapfrog on fucking Tuesday night. But just got her flowers, the regular stuff, a little bracelet. What'd she get me? Well, she got me so get this. So when you work out, you're a big fan. You have them too. The Beats wireless headphones. You're wearing them right now.
I'm actually, my Beats broke. I'm wearing the WWE tap out ones they gave us for WrestleMania.
Are they wireless or are they wired?
They're wireless, and they're not bad while standing. They suck while lying down. They're not
Really?
as far as like they come off my head a little bit, but they're actually not bad for free headphones. I'll give you that much.
So, but the Beats ones, like, do you notice anything weird after wearing them for a while? Like mine smell really bad.
Yeah. Oh, mine's so that's the one thing. The tap out, the fabric they use, it seems cheaper.
Okay.
The Beats one, I feel like, is a more expensive material, but it's not. They need to do something about the bacteria because mine.
It's bad. Mine are horrible.
Mine gets eaten away at. Where
Yeah.
they like, and then where like all the you can see the foam underneath the like the latex or whatever that is, and they smell like shit.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Like to a point where I told my Lauren, my wife, I was like, I'm becoming a problem in my gym. I can tell people are like offended. Like I'll do cardio next to someone. I'm like, my Beats, the headphones smell so fucking bad.
Whoa, wait, really?
I feel like it is. I can smell it, and I don't have a really good sense of smell. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I spray alcohol on it. Like I try to get rid
I've
of
done
it.
all that, yeah.
And like
I never felt bad at the gym, but I felt bad on airplanes. I felt like a real piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
I'd be sitting in first class at times, and I'm like, I feel like people are looking at me like this asshole can't get better headphones.
So I was like, I need new. She got me new headphones, and so I was all excited for Valentine's Day. Like, oh shit, nice silver new Beats, but they weren't wireless. And I'm like, oh mother. So I'm sending them back. She didn't get another pair, but
I think that's good. Yeah, once you go wireless, it's hard to go back.
yeah, they're the best. They're fucking that's a little bit of a workout tip in itself. I think people don't, like I can't work out without listening to either music or podcasts, or I'm a fucking mark. And when I do cardio, I watch matches or I'm doing something, but I need Beats headphones on or else I can't do anything.
I think a lot of people are like that. There's been times I get to the gym and I've forgotten my headphones. Mm-hmm. The gym is maybe like 7 minutes from my house at most. And I just say, fuck it. I look at it as an opportunity to like.
And the gym you took us to, that's your main gym, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good gym.
But I mean, outside, LVAC, Las Vegas Athletic Clubs in Las Vegas are awesome.
Yeah.
And most of them actually have like platforms. This one doesn't. because I think they said there wasn't room, but the gym is huge. So hopefully they get them eventually. But I got my whole gym in my garage, but like I'd like to get out a little bit, and there's a lot of beautiful women that work out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
And as me and Kaylin Croft used to always, we joke about, like in Tampa, we would always say, yeah, a little insider with me and Kaylin Croft of one half of the Dude Busters, who's now happily married. But we were like, what's the puss level at the gym today? and like we would always go at the busy, and we were like, it's a code red. And I'm walking around here with a snorkel, buddy. And so like this LVAC around the horn all the time. There's like, and I don't give a fuck anybody. I'm a goddamn man.
Sure.
It is motivating to watch beautiful women and to like be able to see beautiful women in the gym while you're like pumping iron and putting up impressive weight, and like, because you never know what's going to come about of it. But there's times when I just want to be alone and I have my gym at home. But there's other times I'm a human being and I want to get out.
How often do you work out at home compared to the gym?
But I'm a goddamn man, and I'm like, there's women in there. I'm gonna take a glance at them from time to time, you know. And I'm not disrespecting them by any means. And they're looking at me. I fucking, I look good. I go in there the majority of my days right now, but there's times when I'll do like half my workout there and like half my workout at home.
Okay.
And but like I just like sometimes it's just good getting out and being seen and whatnot and all that jazz. So, but hell of a gym. I really love it.
Do you have more than one gym membership? Because I remember you used to do that.
No, I don't know. I've always had one gym membership.
Oh, really? I thought you had more than one at one point.
No, I think a lot of people here do. I've never been like, I mean, I ever since I have my home gym, so like,
yeah,
I don't need like,
I have two.
Oh, do you?
Well, just because like I'm in Queens now, my gym is literally, I can walk from my gym here to my gym in 2 minutes. It's awesome. Love my gym. But when I'm in Jersey, it's not the same gym. So it's like it's the one you go to, the sports club when you're in town.
They let me in for free again this week. Thank God.
There you go.
And the girl just didn't give a shit.
So that's when I go to Jersey, I'll go there if I want to do cardio, or most of the time I'm over here, but yeah, I'm still because that one's only $20 a month. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna cancel.
Where do you go now? NYC still?
It's called The Rock. That's the name of my gym. Ironically, there's
The Rock.
And ironically, in the locker room when you walk in is a giant picture of The Rock and a motivational quote.
Really?
Well, they call it The Rock because my gym has a giant rock climbing wall in the middle of it. But it's a very it's a fucking awesome gym. Very happy with it. Very much better than the one in Jersey. Like it's great. So
no, it's that one in Jersey is a little run down for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, again, it was a great gym. You know what I wanted to do this week, Pat?
What?
And, I saw a quote this week, and in my book I have a list of quotes that have really helped me in life. And I saw somebody, a guy that followed me, and I followed him back this week. I'm very active on social media and trying to engage myself with the fans and everybody else. And this one guy put a quote up, and it's by Napoleon Hill, and it's very, very true. And I wanted just to read it to everybody out there, and do with it what you will. But I know it has done me a lot of good. Mm-hmm. And the quote is, the number one reason people fail in life is because they listen to their friends, family, and neighbors. And that is by Napoleon Hill.
Did you put that up? Because I think I saw that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, yeah.
As soon as I read it, I was like, I can't tell you how much that quote has helped me in my life, and it really, really resonated with me. And because if I would have listened to my friends, family, and neighbors, I would not have achieved anything.
We'd all be doing something different. Yeah.
You got to live your life and do what you want to do and say fuck everybody else. And it doesn't matter if they are the ones that put you on this earth. That doesn't make them right. And I think it's really important to say that a lot of everything we know in life is from the people who raised us, essentially, up to a point. And it's up to us to figure out life on our own.
When you say that, did you have detractors from what you wanted to do, though? You know,
No, but like my dad doesn't. I mean, he still isn't. He was never a big wrestling fan.
Okay.
And it was always a fake sport. I mean, he's right. It is a fake sport. And like my dad's a real sports guy.
Gotcha.
And I get it. It's cool and whatnot. But like, and not that he didn't stop me from doing anything. And like, but a lot of my friends didn't watch wrestling. I would go to the events by myself, and because I knew they didn't like it. And I've always just trusted me. And I think that when you start learning how to trust yourself is when you start having success in life. So that's why I really like that quote.
No, I like it too. It kind of reminds me of, it's kind of cool. This week I got an email on my, through my school actually. And the email goes through like a generic kind of server or whatever. It goes through Creative Pro. And there was a guy asking to speak to me from my high school, and my alumni apparently have asked me to go back to my high school and to talk to the school about what I do.
Really?
Yeah. So at the end of March, I'm actually going to, I told my story. I was like, look, like I devoted my life to doing something kind of different, and it didn't work out for me. And, I wanted to be a big TV WWE superstar, and I did everything in my power and spent, long time in the quote minor leagues, and it didn't work out. And then it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because I learned that no matter what, I've been talking to a lot of different athletes, and I went to Lauren's school, actually, my wife's school, and I talked to a couple classrooms for career day. And I talked to kids like who love sports, because a lot of them are like, oh, I'm going to be a basketball player. I'm going to be a baseball player. And I'm like, I wanted to be a wrestler, guys. I wanted to be a wrestler since I was kindergarten. I go, it may not work.
But you are a wrestler.
Yeah, but I, in the same way, I was like, it may not work out for you guys, and it chances are it's not going to work out. But if you love what you do, and are really passionate about it, you can find some sort of way to work in the industry that you love and have a career with it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't make it in the way I thought I was going to. But actually, because that happened, it probably set me up better for the rest of my life, because I learned everything, and now I have, multiple different things in the industry that I love, because it didn't work out that way. So like that's kind of my shtick too, like what I'm kind of, But the fact that my high school kind of was, they're like, we're aware of you, we're aware of the things that are going on or what you've done, and we want you to come back and give I was like blown away. Like I'm going to be really excited to do that. It's the end of March. I'm going there. So
congratulations.
Thanks,
that
man.
is very cool. That is, I think in one of the books I'm reading right now, they talk about that, that things don't always go our way, and we have to kind of branch out and take a different path. But the one thing that nobody else has control over is our minds, essentially, and how we react to situations. And one of the examples, and I can't remember the guy's name, I'm just listening to it last night, and a famous, I think he was a boxer, and he went to jail for like 19 years, and he was innocent for like a homicide.
Okay.
But he never let it break him down, and he never lost control of his emotions throughout the entire time, and it was a completely shit situation. And the lesson I got from that, and it was a lot of the things they said really, really resonated with me with WWE, was that I had stuck around as long as I could and kept busting my ass and doing what I could to try to change the situation. And once I realized that wasn't going to change, I had to go down a different road, whether I wanted to or not. And I chose to make a positive out of it. And that happens in life more often than not. And things don't always go the way that we plan and whatnot. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
I think tying that in, I would like to, because you have a great story that I really, really want to get to this week, but I want to make sure that we get in. This kind of ties into it.
It does.
The fitness tip of the week from the big guy this was a quote from Joe Peroni. He is a bodybuilder here.
Sounds familiar.
A guy I used to pick up his kids from school.
Oh, that's right. You talked about him before. That's right. Yeah.
And he told me everything works and nothing works. And what he meant by that, as far as weight training goes, is that everything you do in the gym will work. And if you go in there and do nothing, nothing will work. That it's how you apply and focus your attention on each individual thing. You could go in there, and I'm sorry my voice is shit this week, guys. You could go in there and only, you know what? You can only do push-ups and squats today. And you could still, if you don't, you could go in there and get a hell of a workout if you give that your sole attention.
Yeah.
And put all your focus into that and increase the intensity. It doesn't matter what you do. Give it all your attention and all your focus. Everything works. Believe it works. You can go in there and do 20 sets of a chest press on a machine. It works. You just give it everything you got. Squeeze with everything you got. Give it all your attention. But if you sit at home and do nothing and sit on your goddamn couch and watch TV all day, you have nobody to blame but yourself. So that is what I got from that quote, and that's what I want to give you guys.
I think we talked about doing a little beginner's guide to working out eventually, maybe on a future episode or something like that. Because there's a lot of people kind of writing about, some people work out already, but I was just kind of shocked with the feedback with the whole workout stuff or anything talked about here. And, you know, we definitely want to delve into that a little more.
Absolutely. And I think next week we get into a little more about everything with just a beginner's guide to changing your life with working out and nutrition. And I've talked about, I'm going to try to get on my website I'm going to try to get a beginner's, intermediate, and advanced workout schedule up.
Okay.
To help with people, because I feel like
like actually putting your workouts out there, you mean? Or like
not mine, but my beginner's, intermediate, and advanced workout that from me that I will personally create.
Huh.
That and you know, I've talked about, I've done a little bit of life coaching with a guy.
Yeah.
And
how's that going?
It's been going great. I just don't have time. And I actually got to talk to him about it. I have my hands in a lot of jars, and and I'm going to try to keep it up, but it's getting difficult on the time end of doing all that. But a lot of our fans and listeners really, really are interested in increasing their health. And that's something I really want to help with. And I feel I have a really, really good grasp with all that. And, you know, Feed Me More Nutrition, guys, I plug it all the time, but I really believe in it. And it truly is. Tyson Kidd this week put it over huge. And
he was there on Friday, which was nice.
Yeah.
And I got to give him a shout out.
Great.
I love the fact that Tyson Kidd, and he'll appreciate this, I love the fact that there's a NXT event in town with Tyson Kidd's at WrestlePro hanging out with us.
He wanted to see Brian Cage versus Ryback.
Of course.
And Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, hell of a performance, as always.
Tyson's a man, and he put over your pre-workout.
He said it was the best pre-workout he's ever taken, by the way.
It's by far, I honestly think it's the best pre-workout ever took.
And it is by far healthier than anything out there. And there's not one thing in there that's bad for you. I told him, I was joking with him, how it was so great to see him again, and how we were joking about certain talents, and I'm not going to name their names,
sure,
but that, like, if they had broken their neck and their careers were over, would be 500 pounds. And how looks fucking better than ever.
He told me about that you said you're still in better shape than like 90% of the roster.
Yeah. Huge bicep vein. Like, he posted a picture with him and Natty with his like bicep vein just bulging out. And I'm like, the guy breaks his neck and his wrestling career's over, and he has remained optimistic and positive throughout the entire thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's bitched and cussed and moaned and whined and cried. And he has every fucking right in the book to do that every chance. If he was doing that 24/7, nobody can knock him. Mm-hmm. But he's not. He's out. He's like talking to the guys, and like, I forget that there's anything wrong with him when I see him.
Yeah.
And I like, and it sucks. And like, it really, people don't understand, like, and I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to go into great detail about this, but WWE should make sure 100% that not only is he taken care of for the rest of his life. And I mean well beyond
Yeah.
taken care of, that they should bend over backwards time and time again for him, because they took away, this guy loved wrestling, not
On another
just
level.
as much, on another level.
Yeah.
And what they took away from him, and by the way, and to take as long as they did to fucking apologize, I'm going to personally say it right here on the podcast.
Okay.
Fuck you, Vince, and fuck you, Kevin, for not fucking being fucking men and fucking apologizing to this human being that you ruined. And Vince, you are a fucking piece of shit. And I'm going to say it right here, for everything that you did that night to fucking go out there and create that circumstance. And you should hate yourself when you look in the mirror. And that's not being edited out.
Wow.
Seriously.
No,
There's
I
no
can't agree
excuses
more.
for it.
There's
no excuses for it.
no.
Oh, we were scared of a lawsuit. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
You guys should be fucking shut down.
I agree completely. I think he's
Tyson
gonna
is a great human being. He's given them everything. And Mark Carrano, I hope to God Mark Carrano is fired for the stupid decisions that he made that night. That is one thing that would make me personally, because I just hate the guy so much for being such a piece of shit, that like I would like to see Mark Carrano gone over this whole thing at the end of the day.
and credit for Tyson for kind of keeping it all to himself. You know what I mean? Like just kind
Yeah,
of
I'll get mad for him without saying too much, but
pretty. I mean, but I'm glad he came out. He's so supportive of everything I do, and I really he's a real genuine friend.
he's a great human being.
He's a great human- yeah.
Great fucking.
I fucking hate wrestling in front of him because I feel like so critiqued and analyzed, and like I'm like, man, like because he was arguably one of the best in ring,
If people knew his situation and the circumstances of what went down,
and they
that don't,
night, which is crazy.
they don't,
Yeah.
and they don't,
And they won't,
and it's
yeah.
not my place to
It's
say,
not,
and I'm
yeah,
not
no
going.
one's except his.
And it makes me so angry because everything I went through with my ankle, and I feel like Vince doesn't know a lot of the things that went on with my ankle, and I never got one goddamn apology for anything, and his situation is a million times worse because he can never wrestle ever again, and it just makes me so angry at the negligence and stupidity that exist at that level there. And there's not to say that mistakes won't happen and things aren't going to go bad from time to time, but Jesus Christ. They put WWE on such a goddamn pedestal, and it makes me so angry. And they'll never, and I'll be the first to admit, they got so much power behind them that,
Oh, yeah.
like you'll never, you know what I mean? But like it just fuck. Somebody needs to say it because he's not in a position to say it. So just fuck. Just makes me angry, man.
I understand.
What I wanted to get to, though, and to kind of turn this around, we're going to go a little longer than usual today, guys. But sorry we got off on a little bit of a tangent with that. Fan questions. I think we need to get to that.
Oh,
And then
sure.
I want to end this with your story because I feel like your story is a real winner.
Well, maybe, yeah, we'll spin it back to something kind of funny that happened at Starland, which was we were both experiencing last Friday. But all right, so I got the question here. The first one is, Ryback, what happens when you take the pre-workout unlimited energy and you don't work out with it?
It's we market it obviously as a pre-workout supplement because it's me being in the fitness world, and all the supplements are kind of marketed towards the fitness world. You don't have to work out on it, and I've talked about this before. You could simply take it when you wake up in the morning, take half a scoop to a full scoop, and some people are sensitive to caffeine. They could do a quarter of a scoop and feel amazing on it. And you could literally take it in the morning, and it will give you energy throughout the day.
And that's okay? You can just like go to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could go to work. You don't have to go work out on it. Like your body doesn't know. Like it's an energy supplement, an
Yeah.
all-natural energy supplement. So you don't have to be into working out. It's just simply something that's marketed to give people energy before they go and exert themselves to working out. But you could take it at any point. And usually morning or afternoon. We don't recommend taking it at night because it could keep you up. So,
Yep.
But yeah, you don't have to work out on it.
All right, so question number 2 is from Ryback, who's in attendance, always a proud supporter of you and of WrestlePro. And her question is, can wrist extensions essentially make your wrists fatter?
Yeah. So with they're specifically for your forearms, but with your wrist, a lot of times, people measure the circumference of their wrist. It's mostly all bone right there.
Okay. Makes sense.
Your wrist size is kind of predetermined.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, if you gain a lot of weight,
Yeah.
and whether good or bad, your wrist will get thicker.
Huh.
But not specifically. There's not a lot of muscles around there that are going to bulk up. It's mostly tendons and bones and all that stuff. Veins.
Okay.
So your wrist, or you're kind of set with what your wrist size is unless you gain a few 100 pounds.
All right. And question number 3. Are there any banned substances in your products that could potentially show up on a drug test?
Great question. On that one, no. Everything is all natural. But I will say, in Australia, Yohimbine is banned in Australia.
Really?
So, yeah, I just found that out myself.
Huh.
So if you live in Australia, they just recently banned it, and nobody knows it is. Nobody really knows why. And it is, I think, in super high amounts. Like anything, if you drink too much water, you could die.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a natural ingredient, and it has a lot of positive benefits to it. And it's legal everywhere else. So, but that's the only one. But nothing in the United States is on the ban list on my ingredients. So
Okay. Three solid questions from people. If you want to ask questions, hit me up on Twitter or hit us up on Twitter. We'll
I think that's the easiest way. We had the email, but I feel like Twitter's the easiest.
yeah, and you can hit me up. I'll get all those questions for the podcast. But what else we got going on? Talking about a whole bunch of a plethora of topics, and we had a lot of visitors at Starland, and I think you met a new friend at Starland. You were asking me about a certain guy that's quite the regular at WrestlePro.
What?
You know what I'm talking about?
Why don't you go ahead and mention them for everybody out there?
Well, you said that while you and Cage were kind of putting together your match, there was
wait a second. What?
While you guys were...
Wait a second, Pat. Are you telling me wrestlers talk before their matches?
I went through Instagram. The Mark for Life face is still gone.
For the love of God. And I need you guys out there. I need you to message Snapchat. We need the Mark for Life. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I feel like a part of me has died.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like, I haven't, if you've looked at my Snapchat activity, it's gone down tremendously from Mark for Life being gone. That was one of my sole reasons for using Snapchat. And there was a guy, though, this weekend when me and Brian Cage ran into each other backstage, and I go, "What's up, motherfucker? We're wrestling later tonight." And he goes, "That's right." And that was it. Tell everybody his name.
Well, you asked me, like, what's the deal with this guy? Because you said he was trying to get quite the pump going when he's near you guys. Apparently,
I have very high expectations for myself, and I'm not wrestling it. When I'm wrestling every week, I can go out there and I just go out there and I'm fine. He got there late, and we talked about this actually.
Yeah.
I wanted to go 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He got there. For a 30-minute match, you want a few things organized. And
Sure.
we could have still gone out there without talking. But there were multiple things working against us. We weren't the main event either. Cody was. And that's, I always kind of believe working your place on the card. And I don't think the semi-main should go out there and work longer than the main.
Okay.
And he got there very, very late, last minute. And expectations, I felt like, were very high for this. So, and we made the most of it. And we didn't even skim the surface of what we could do together. But feedback was great and all that. But I noticed a guy pumping up next to us religiously, an older gentleman. And I was, we're like trying to like frantically like do it because you came over and you go, I'm not. We just started talking, and then I heard like a bell, and I go, "What was that?" And you go, "Oh, the next match is starting." I go, "Wait, intermission is over?" I thought we had like a legit 20 or 25 minutes for intermission, but it was cut short because the show was going long.
Yeah.
So, and we had less than 2 matches to get our shit together, and I wasn't even fully dressed, and he was still getting dressed. So, I just noticed a guy pumping up, and I was like, what the fuck is going on around here? And go ahead. I'll let you take over from here.
So I said, well, that's Dylan Stiffwood. That's our, his real name is Ace. I'm like, you've met him before, right? You're like, no. I'm like, well, I told you about my match with him,
I
right?
I have met him. He asked me about the big guy test booster multiple times.
Okay. So,
nice guy. Very great guy. Nothing.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. And I actually asked his permission.
Up in the wrong places, though.
I told him I was going to tell this story because I was like, well, I told you last year about my match with him, right? And you're like, no. I'm like, I never told you the story. You're like, no. I'm like, okay. Well, I'll tell it to you for the first time and on here. So I run a wrestling school, obviously. Now, one day, and I get people of all ages, sizes, whatever. Some people I've told, hey, I can't train you. But for the most part, I'm
overweight usually.
No, and I'm okay with that because you can't. My first student ever was a kid named Fat Pat. His name was Pat too, and he was actually at the wedding. He used to be like 440 pounds. Whoa. He's now 200. He might be below 200 pounds.
That's awesome.
But when he was 440, this motherfucker could move, and he was good. So I don't judge a book by its cover with that. So this guy comes, and he has longer hair. He has kind of like Patrick Swayze Point Break hair. A little bit older, though. And he's at my school one day, and I go, hey, what's going on, man? And the first thing he says to me is like, hey, my name is Ace, and or his name's Craig.
Wait, what's the deal? What's the deal with the Ace name? Do you know?
I don't know, but I think he's a big Bon Jovi fan, and I think it stands for Atlantic City Expressway. I'm not sure. Someone said that. I don't know if they were kidding. But we call him Ace.
Makes sense.
I was like, oh, nice to meet you. And he told me within the first couple minutes that he has a warrior tattoo and that he's buddies with...
Wait, who doesn't?
Yeah, he was friends with Mr. Warrior. And that he had a big part in Warrior University back when that was a thing. Were you aware of Warrior University?
I remember seeing the commercials. Was that a real thing?
I've heard so many different things about Warrior University. I heard that they had a guy that would show them things, and Warrior only showed up twice. And when he showed up for the students, they would have them all together, and they'd blast Warrior's music, and he'd come out in full gimmick and like say something inspirational and then leave. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I feel like with me legally changing my name and Warrior being the other one that legally changed his name, Ryback University would be a great fucking.
Was Warrior University? Where was that? That wasn't Vegas, was it?
Arizona. He was in Arizona.
Arizona.
I feel like I want to create a curriculum in like Ryback University now out of all this, and it's just life.
Just life and power bombs.
Life and power bombs. Holy shit, and positivity.
So Ace came, right? So we start talking. He goes, I'm like, what do you want to do? I'm like, with all due respect, I'm like, you're a little bit older. He's like, well, I want to be involved somehow. And I'm like, all right, maybe a manager. I'm like, do you want to train to wrestle? I'm like, he's like, let me try it. I'm like, sure. And he's athletic looking for a guy that's in his 50s.
How old is he?
He's probably like 56 now, maybe 57.
Fuck, that's not
he looks good, right?
Chicken. I mean, he looks great.
But he's old. But that's an older age. So I said, look, man, like if you want to train, you don't have to do this high impact stuff that we do, but let's try it out. So,
how is he as a wrestler?
All right. So
they say that it's really hard learning later in life, to his credit.
Yeah. So I start training him, and I realize, he's struggling. He's trying his best, so he's doing okay. But things aren't that easy to him. He was more so, he's like, you know what? I'm going to be a manager instead. I'm like, okay, that's rightfully so. That's probably appropriate.
I will say it's a real knock to the ego when, like, learning something new in life. And it's like, there's a lot of people that suck at fake fighting. Like,
Yeah.
when you really,
Oh, sure.
Like, it's because when you think about, like, it's fake fighting and, like, you're not good at it, that's a real fucking knock to the ego.
But it's tough to pick up or whatever. And I said, you know what? Just the rolls and the bumps and the cardio and like,
Cardio's the key, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, manager might be your thing. However, here's what happens. In June, I normally run this giant building called the Rahway Rec Center, and they're not available in summertime. They don't have air conditioning. So I like to run a couple towns over in a town called Keyport, which is, he's from that town or from a town over. He lives there.
Have you ever thought about buying the air conditioners for the place?
I looked into it. It's a lot of money.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
a lot of money. So, and it's a city-owned building. It wouldn't do me any good.
Okay.
So I'm like, he actually hooked up the building, and he's like, this is my town. I could do a lot of good things with it. I'm like, that's great. He's very helpful, very good promoter. He's a very good salesman too.
Yeah, I believe it.
So he then goes, but you know what, Pat? I really want to wrestle on this show. And I go, you know what? Since you're promoting this town, I will wrestle you. But I'll tell you what, we'll make this match very easy. And I go, we're going to have, he was like, look, I want to be prepared for it. I'm like, all right. So he arranged it. So we'd have me, him, and another guy would have training to go over this match. Almost like it's a fucking WrestleMania, like one-on-one kind of.
In Ace's mind, this is WrestleMania.
And yeah, absolutely. In his hometown, he's going to have this big fucking match.
Yeah.
So we arranged this to happen, me, him, and another guy. We go to my school early mornings in a couple days. And I'm like, look, I'm going to make this as simple as possible. Literally. And also because he was managing another guy, I go, the best way to do this, we're going to have a 4-on-4 match. And we'll make it Survivor Series rules. And you guys will be the big survivors. And even though
you guys playing the heels then?
I'm going to play it's a spot show, so I'm going to be a heel. And I'll lead everything. He goes, that sounds great. I'm like, you guys will go up at the end. I'll put you guys over. It'll be awesome.
Ace is the big baby face at the end.
Huge baby face.
He's the ultimate fucking warrior.
But he's going to, yes. And I was going to teach him, because I was like, look, man, like he always wanted to learn power moves, like how to do a Davey Boy slam and how to do like.
Yeah. Trust me, I know. I get a lot of emails about, there's guys out there that just love fucking power style.
And as a manager, he felt unfulfilled because he's this guy in pretty good shape for his age, like really good shape.
Can't get that release.
He's like, what do I do? So I'm like, look, we'll go over stuff. I'll figure out something. I'll take a couple moves. No big deal. So we go to my school, and this is the match I have. Now, on the heels for this match are me and Mario, who's very skilled.
Mario's
and
great, yeah.
He killed it at Starland with Cody. And I really, off the top of my head, I don't remember the other two heels that are in there against two other heels.
Doesn't matter.
Two other babyfaces, whatever. So it's 4-on-4. He's a babyface, and the guy he's managing. And at the time, he's playing a character called Dylan Stiffwood. He's a lifeguard. And he's managing a guy that's another lifeguard. And it works pretty well. He's kind of like a Mitch Buchanan, a Hasselhoff, if you will.
I love this story already. There's going to be a lot of complaints about my coughing this week.
No, not at all. I'm sniffling too. So we have literally about 3 weeks of practice. And the match I put together, and I have pride in this because I do a lot of camp shows. I do a lot of high school shows. I do a lot of events.
I would love to do a camp fucking show. Jesus.
I used to work for a fat camp, and I do shows up there occasionally.
If you would let me work as Bully Ryback for one camp show, come out kind of fat promo, like, you motherfucking yada, yada, yada.
I know how to include people because a lot of these bought shows or whatever, they have people they want on the show. So it's my job to go, how can we get this non-trained person to be in a match and still make it entertaining but not fucking hurt someone or make it look shitty? So that's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like a guest host of Raw. Like, how do you make this guy involved without exposing wrestling?
How can you maximize this guy's presence without exposing him?
Yeah. So the match I have for him, and because he knows a little bit from training, here's all we're going to do. In the beginning, all you're going to do is lock up with me, throw me off like Hogan.
Yeah.
And I'll take the big bump for you. Again, lock up with me. Throw me off like Hogan. Take my arm, twist it, tag out. That's all he's got to do in the beginning. That's it. And then as the match goes on, we'll eventually eliminate guys. So it'll come down to me and Mario versus him and another guy.
Okay.
So we're at that point. So then the big spot that we have where it's Mario and Mr. Stiffwood, Dylan, Ace. We'll just call him Ace. He's going to duck his clothes.
Or Stiffwood.
Now it's down to two on each team. Big drama. Duck the clothesline. He'll throw a couple clotheslines. Or no, it's supposed to be shoulder tackles. 2 shoulder tackles, a body slam, go for the warrior splash, and Mario is going to put the knees up.
Okay.
Completely forgets everything, which is okay. It happens. People get nervous. People whatever.
Absolutely.
Mario's a professional. He cuts him off. We start beating him up.
If you don't mind me asking, what part was forgotten?
Well, the tackles turned into really weird clotheslines. They were kind of like left arm, very awkward. I have it on tape, so I will send you this.
Wait, he forgot his comeback.
It wasn't even the comeback. So it was kind of like a shine because I'm like, look, if you do you could mess this up, and you're the guy that everyone wants to see. So let's get some heat on you. Let's beat you up.
Okay.
So it fucks up. Mario covers it. And the whole thing was, well, we got Survivor Series rules, so we got to get down to a Survivor. So me and Mario start getting heat on him, and he's as heavy as cement. We can't move him in the ring.
Yeah.
We look at him, and his face is covered with blood, just bleeding profusely. And I'm looking at Mo, and I'm like, you didn't hit him, did you? And he goes, no, I swear. And I'm like, why is he bleeding so much out of his nose? And he is, and Ace is so, I think, now I realize he's so nervous, he's blown sky high. Like, he's totally done, dude. I have to reference this, dude. So during the training of this match beforehand,
I love this
his one big bump is the hard way in. That's his big thing. For fans listening who don't know what the hard way in, picture you're on the ring apron outside the ring and one guy's in the ring. You push the ropes out, you pull them in, and they take a giant flip bump into the ring.
The fakest move in wrestling.
Fakest move in wrestling, but he's very good at it. So let's keep that in there because we practiced that, and he was very, very, very good at it.
Good at that hard way in.
So me and Mario are beating him up, and like he won't.
Blood everywhere.
Blood is everywhere, and his wife is in the front row, and I'm looking around like, what the fuck is going? And I'm like, dude, trust me, what is going on? He is very hard to move. So the way Mario gets eliminated is we just keep beating him up in the corner, and the referee's counting, and Mario kind of shoves the ref. So now he gets disqualified. So I'm in there with 2 baby faces, even though it doesn't make sense. But I couldn't just be me and him because I knew beforehand things could go wrong, and at least I'll have the other baby face in there. So after that, after Mario gets disqualified, the next spot is literally duck the clothesline, just tag out, and his partner's going to come in, light me up with a comeback, and we're going to go into the finish. I'm waiting for in the middle of the ring, and I'm just waiting on him. Like, Mario gets DQ'd. I'm like, all right, come on, man, feet out. He doesn't come out. He's in the corner. I wait another 5 seconds. He doesn't come out. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll go to him. Turn him around, blood on the face. I'm like, are you okay? No response. I go, all right, man, I'm going to go for a suplex. Like, give me a small package. I go to give him a suplex. No small package. Nothing. I go, all right, I'm going to suplex you for real. I suplex him. Heaviest suplex in the world. I get up. I go.
Shut down.
I go, move on this elbow. Tag out your partner. I hit the ropes. I go for an elbow. He doesn't move. I just get I hit a full elbow drop. And I felt like Vader versus Shawn, like in that thing where it's like, move.
Yeah.
And I go, dude, you have to tag out. This is going to be a fucking problem. So I turn him over and I go to pick him up. I go crawl through my legs and just tag out. He finally does. He crawls through legs and tags out. His partner runs a nice comeback. And then the final spot is supposed to be big comeback, move, covers me. I kick out. I shut down his partner, and I shoot him towards the rope, and Ace is supposed to make the blind tag. Then I'll get rid of his partner, and I'll hard way in Ace. I'll go for something. He'll
that hard way.
The hard way. Big hard way, because he wanted in there. Move out of the way. He'll hit the Warrior Splash, and he wins. That was the match.
Yeah.
I bump and feed. Boom, 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 boom. Shut him down. I shoot him towards Ace. Ace doesn't tag. I go, fine. I kick his part. I kick the guy. I throw him over the top rope. I walk over to Ace. I go, just take the hard way in. I pull the rope. He doesn't do it.
Oh.
He's just breathing heavily. I go to him. I give him a punch. I go hard way in. He takes it. He actually does it. I'm like, I think I said, like, ready, move on the knee drop or something. He doesn't move. I hit him with the knee drop. I then pick him up, and here's the worst thing, which I'll show you a tape of this.
There's more. There's worse.
This story gets out of control. I pick him up. I go, just slip the slam and roll me up. This match is done. I give up. I completely give up.
Yeah.
I go slip the slam. I put him behind me. He stumbles. He rolls me up the same way, maybe worse than when fucking Austin broke his neck with Owen Hart. Like that really weak. And I'm just sitting on my shoulders going, oh my God, oh my God.
This is what happens when you blow up and have nothing left in you, by the way.
Nothing left in you. So this is where the story begins.
Wait, the story hasn't even begun yet?
No.
Holy
it hasn't begun.
I am.
Because there's a lot of aftermath.
I am heavily invested in this. Don't
so
fuck
after
me
that,
over on this.
After that, I kick out. Now, I didn't remember this, but Hawkins told me that I blacked out in anger because after I kick out, apparently I go to him and I kick him in the chest 2 or 3 times. And Hawkins said it looked like a gang beating. Like I just kept kicking him in the chest. I don't remember this. I go to the locker room and I'm so pissed off. I'm so fucking angry. And I'm like, that is the worst match I ever had in my life. I can't believe this happens. And he gets to the back and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? I'm like, I tried so hard. We had practice. Like, what is going on? And he's upset too, but he tells me that he broke his nose during the match. And I go, how the fuck did you break your nose? I didn't hit you. I saw the whole thing. Mario didn't hit you. He goes, you broke my nose on your kick. I'm like, I swear to God, I kicked him like in the side of his head. I'm like, no, I didn't. And then later on in the night, when I talked to him again, I was like, because he knew I was upset. He's like, no, I think I broke my nose when Mario gave me a turnbuckle into the foam turnbuckle. Jesus. I was like, what the fuck is this?
He broke his
own
nose.
I don't even know about that. So, and I'm looking at his nose, and his nose is straight, but there's a shitload of blood. So anyway, after that night, I tweeted right after that match. I said, I just had the worst match of my life.
I remember this, I feel like.
Okay, yeah. So I tweeted that. But then after a while, I started laughing. I'm like, I just had a 55-year-old guy's first wrestling match, and I'm mad about it. Like, I'm laughing at myself. But then he came home, and he tweeted something, like, nasty at me after. I'm like, oh, boy, what the fuck is this? And he was telling everyone that I broke his nose.
Yeah.
And that's why he couldn't continue the match. And I'm fucking getting really mad. I'm like, this is a guy I trained. This is a guy I cared about. And he's telling people me and Mario hurt this guy. So here's what happened after this. I basically write him an email saying, like, you know, because of this, I'm like, I really try to help you, but like, I don't think you can come back to my school, man. You're telling people I hurt you. Like, this is a bad situation.
Okay.
And he wrote back something, I forget. But then a couple of my students and guys I work with were like, hey, we saw Ace this week. His eyes are really covered black and blue. Yeah. And I went, no fucking way. And I had 2 to 4 different people write to me and go, his eyes, like, he looks like a raccoon. Like, his nose is broken. I was like, no fuck. And then I started thinking, I'm like, oh shit, did I fucking break his nose? Like, what the fuck happens? So anyway, then apparently I had there's times where a lot of my guys will help me out. We'll go like flyer different wrestling events. And we had a local event in town. It wasn't wrestling. It was for this big celebration. But our show was the next week. So we're handing out flyers. And Ace showed up and he helped out anyway. And one of my guys messaged me and he goes, yo, just letting you know, he's here and his eyes are glittery. I'm like, what do you mean they're glittery? He goes, well, he has black and blue eyes, but it looks like there's makeup on it. And I'm like, no fucking way. They're like, yeah. And they went up to him. They're like, why are you wearing makeup? He goes, I'm not wearing makeup. I put on my wife's stuff to cover up my black and blue eyes or my purple eyes. And he's like, you know, women, like he was trying to cover up for it. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, did I break this guy's nose or is he wearing makeup and trying to pretend that I heard him? I'm like, what is going on? So I reach out to him. I go, we need to go meet up. We need to talk about this. Me, him, and Kevin go to dinner one night. And he shows up and he only has...
If you don't mind me asking, where'd you go to eat?
It was like California Pizza Kitchen or something like that.
It sounds like an Applebee's type of night.
Yeah. It was something like Macaroni Grill. That's what it was, Macaroni Grill.
Right. Yeah.
So he shows up.
Not quite Ruth Chris.
And when he comes in, he has one purple line going down his eye. And I went, oh, fuck. That looks real. Like, I guess I hit him. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I feel bad. So we start talking, and he was telling me stuff, and like, you know, he had a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, all right, you know, I feel bad, whatever. Let's let bygones be bygones. Just come back to school. I don't even care about it anymore. But Kevin couldn't let it go. And Kevin goes, do me a favor, Ace. And he wets a napkin. Wipe that shit off your eye right now. And Ace goes, okay. And wipes his forehead, wipes his mouth, and throws it back. He doesn't wipe the eye, though.
Yeah.
He goes, no, wipe your eye. And he goes, okay. And wipes his eye, and he throws the napkin down. And there's makeup on it. There's a little purple blemish.
Really?
And I just went, holy shit. I went, you know what?
Kudos to Kevin for calling him out on that.
Yeah.
That makes me like Kevin even more.
Me and Kevin just look at each other, and I go, you know what? I don't even care anymore. And I was really upset and disappointed, but I found out, here's the real story. This is why he did it all. He has a heart condition. But I think that and this came out later because he had a hard time doing cardio, and he's actually on the cover of a Men's Health magazine for a new procedure he did, and he was embarrassed to kind of admit. So then I went, oh my God, what if I was wrestling this guy and he would have died of like a heart thing?
Yeah.
Like, because this was an issue that he had.
What was his reasoning for having makeup on?
We never talked about that. He just kind of he did that, and I think it was for sympathy. So I got to say, like, you know, he overcame a heart thing, and I think he was just too embarrassed to say, which is why he gets tired and everything. So the rematch may be happening on June 10th in Keyport. I would like to give this a second shot. Kevin challenged me, if Kenny Omega can make a 9-year-old Japanese girl a star, can I pull this match?
Wait, what's the deal with Kenny Omega?
Well, you've seen him wrestle the 9-year-old girl before, right?
No.
You never seen that?
No.
Oh my God! YouTube that tonight. He has like a killer match with like a 9-year-old girl in Japan.
Can you? I'm going to ask you this very seriously on it.
Yeah.
Can you book Ryback versus Kenny Omega?
If I can, I would. Honestly, and I talk to Kenny not often, but Kevin's actually better friends with him.
We'll talk off the air about this, obviously, but I don't have a list specifically, but I would like to wrestle Kenny Omega because I have great wind, and I want to know. He looks like he has great wind.
Yeah.
Just from a competitive standpoint, I want to wrestle Kenny Omega.
Okay. I'm fine with that. He's a great dude. But he wrestled a 9-year-old, and I want the rematch with Ace, hopefully June 10th. Me versus all. I don't know if he's 56 now or 57, but I'd like that rematch.
Is he cleared by all doctors and physicians to get in the ring?
Probably not, but we'll see how this goes. So that's a story that I've never told you that
I think
I'm telling you right now.
We should do something for WrestleMania weekend. having you maybe in Colt Cabana's corner with Ace in my corner, and just doing, I don't know why.
Set up the angle with people that won't be there.
Set up a shitty angle for like the 20 people there. No, there'll be a lot. I can't tell you, like, when I check on social media, there'll be people that just don't understand. Like, they can't fathom not working for WWE. And I'm just like, God, it's like Idiocracy, the movie. Just people not understanding life, and just, it's so disappointing on so many levels. But, you know, it's going to be a hell of a weekend, WrestleMania weekend. Come on.
That's the most, it honestly, there's no bigger, not stress, but I have 1,500 seats to sell on a Thursday night. We're only running against Evolve. Yeah.
All right. No, I'll take care of the rest. I got it.
That really is, and it's nice because guys like you and legitimately care about the house.
Yeah, I don't want to wrestle in front of 20 people.
No, we'll pack. I mean, like, front row's sold out, second row's getting there, but like, fans are very picky with what they do, but they're there, you know.
Guys, come out to WrestlePro. I always usually get on the mic and say something, and it's worth that alone. And you'll come out and see that I'm a way better wrestler than you want to give me credit for, and because I can legitimately do anything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it
or not. So
you and Cabana should be
I'm gonna break his arm.
A fun night.
Really, really fucking hot at him over all that Punk stuff still. So piece of shit.
So what else we got? You want to wrap it up? We did a 2-hour and 10-minute episode.
No,
already.
That was our first 2-hour episode. So I think that's about all for this week. But thank you guys, and leave your feedback online. You can email me at thebigguy@feedmemore.com, Ryback22 at Twitter, the Big Guy, Ryback22 on Instagram, and Ryback247 on Snapchat. And Pat?
WrestleProOnline.com. Tickets in New York, New Jersey area. Like I said, if you're coming to Mania, go Thursday night. We'd love to meet you. I'm Buck Never Stops across all platforms.
And guys, you've just listened to another episode of Conversation with the Big Guy. Thank you.